Do you want to elevate your jewellery? Treat it like an onion. Hello, welcome, my name's Carol. Today we're going to be talking about layering your jewellery, and we're also going to be doing a little tutorial on how to make this necklace. So why should you layer your jewellery? Well, at the moment there is a huge trend for wearing multiple layers of jewellery. If you want that kind of edgy vibe like I'm always looking for, it's a really cool trick to give you a little bit more of a statement kind of focal. Now, what works in terms of layering and what doesn't? So most of the time when you layer a piece of jewellery, you want several things to kind of be aligned. You want the length to be one shorter and one longer, like I've got here. Now I'm actually wearing, this necklace is quite long, and if you would like to make this one, I did a tutorial and I'll leave it linked in the description box below. Now this necklace can also be worn at different lengths, so that's an interesting little tip for you as well. So you want your layered pieces to be different lengths. So if you're wearing a shorter necklace, you might want to have a shorter layer. So you don't want too much gap between your two layers of your necklace. So you wouldn't want to wear a choker and a long necklace, although I have seen that done really successfully too, especially with pearls. That looks awesome if you wear a pearl choker and a couple of really long necklaces. And I'm working on a tutorial actually. Stay tuned, that one's coming up. Now I could actually put on yet another necklace shorter than this and have 3 layers, or I could put on a longer one, but I don't like wearing longer necklaces because it draws attention to my tummy and I don't want that. So the other thing that you want to think about is that your jewellery should really have something in common. So for example, this necklace here, you have to look really closely to see it. It has some little silver 3mm balls between the beads, which means that my silver necklace here works really well with it. Now if this necklace had gold, I wouldn't put gold on this necklace anyway because it is a warm tone, these beads are cool, but that's a whole other story. If I was wearing a necklace with gold, I would want to wear either a gold longer necklace or a mixed metal necklace. And if you've got a mixed metal necklace, you can wear, you know, either layering piece. So in this example, this piece here is my layering piece and this is my main focal necklace. As I said, I have a tutorial on how to make this necklace. If you're interested in making the earrings that I'm wearing today, let me know in the comments below because I haven't done a tutorial for these, but they are a pair of earrings I made in 5 minutes. Literally 5 minutes before I was going to film this tutorial because I didn't have a necklace, sorry, some earrings that went with my necklace. So I whipped these ones up. So if you want me to do a tutorial for that, let me know in the comment section below. So we're going to actually today make this layering necklace, this long one. I'm just going to take it off and we can have a close look at it. I feel kind of bare without my extra necklace, but let's take a closer look at it. So there it is, all laid out. Now, I only used 4 materials to make this necklace. I used a big chunky piece of chain. This one measures about 39 centimeters long. And as you can see, it's quite a chunky piece. And I wanted it to have that really chunky, kind of overstated look, which is why I chose this fabulous piece of chain. That's the back of the necklace. The front of the necklace is made up from 10mm jump rings. So these are quite a sturdy jump ring. The charms, of course, I've got 13 of those, and these are double-sided charms. Now, when I initially decided to make this, I started off with a single-sided charm. But don't do that, because these charms on this necklace are going to flip around. They're going to sometimes be upside down, sometimes they're going to be back to front. So you want a charm that is double-sided. And I think you want a decent sized charm as well, because you've got these big 10mm jump rings. You're attaching them with these 8mm jump rings. So you want that really chunky feel. So I could have even gone bigger with these charms, but this is what I had, and I wanted to make something with what I had. I didn't want to go and buy something. We've got our 10mm, we've got our 8mm, we've got our chain, and we have our charms. So let's make this necklace. The first thing I'm going to do is attach an 8mm jump ring to the end of my chain. So this is a really good project if you need practice opening and closing jump rings. It's also really good at attaching multiple jump rings, because as you can see here, I didn't use just one jump ring, I used two. And the reason I did that was I wanted that really chunky feel. To open my jump ring, if you haven't done this before, there's a link to a video tutorial in the description box. So I'm going to take my jump ring with my 2 pairs of chain nose pliers and open it. Then I'm going to feed on the end of my chain. And then I am going to take my pliers and I'm going to close my jump ring. Now you want to make sure your jump rings are really well closed. So if you need to, go up and down a few times, pushing towards the other pair of pliers, and make sure that it's really well closed. And mine doesn't want to close for some reason. There we go, a little bit more. You're looking for that kind of scrape between the ends of the wire. But as I said, these jump rings are pretty chunky. My hands aren't very strong, so it's going to take me a wee minute to close my jump rings, but that's okay. So I've got one jump ring on there. Now I'm going to repeat that with another one. Open it. Now the easiest way to do this is actually to hang it like this and hook your jump ring through that end link, because you don't want to twist it with the other jump ring, and then close it. Now I've got my 2 jump rings on there. It is my recommendation here that you go ahead and you open a whole lot of your 10mm jump rings, because you are going to want them open so they can hook onto each other, because otherwise you've got to put your project down, open them, put your project down, open them, pick it up, you know. So I will go ahead and open a whole lot of your jump rings at this point. All right, so I've got some of my jump rings open here, and I'll probably need more than that, but I'm going to start with this lot and we'll see how we go. So the first thing we're going to do is attach one of these jump rings to our double jump rings that we just added to this end. Grab your jump ring with your pliers, hang it, and hook it through both those jump rings, and we're going to close it. And you're looking for that kind of click into place. All right, so I've got that one. Now I'm going to hold on to it in my left hand pliers, or right hand if you're left-handed, and grab my next jump ring, hook it on, and I'm going to close it. I did that really weird, really awkwardly. Then I'm going to grab another one and hook it on. As I said, these jump rings are a little stubborn because they're quite a heavy gauge, but doubling up on them also helps with the strength of the necklace. So we're going to repeat this until we have 25 of these jump rings attached. So just repeating the same process. So there are my jump rings all attached, at 25 jump rings. Now you'll notice something about jump rings. When you attach them in a line like this, something interesting happens. You have one jump ring that sits one way, so this one here on the end is kind of facing up, so you can see the wire that way, and the next one you can see the circle of the jump ring, and that will happen all the way along your chain, and that's what you're looking for. Okay, so we want the first one to be kind of sitting up and the next one to be lying down, and that will happen all the way along. We're going to use that to our advantage. Now I've gone ahead and I've opened another 25 of my 10mm jump rings, and I've opened 15 of my 8mm jump rings. So we're going to start by attaching the other end of the chain to the last jump ring we attached. So taking one of my 8mm jump rings, and I'm going to grab it in my pliers and hook on the last jump ring I attached and the other end of my chain. And I'm going to do up my jump ring. Close my jump ring. By the way, before you do this step, it's really useful if you go ahead and just double check that all those jump rings are closed properly, because it's much easier to do it now than later. So I've popped on one jump ring there. It is this one here. I know they look quite similar in size, but they are 2 millimeters difference. And I'm going to pop on another one. So holding my jump ring, my 8 millimeter jump ring in my pliers of my left hand, I'm going to hook my second 8 millimeter jump ring through those two things hanging off. So that's the end of the chain, the last link of the chain, and the next 10 millimeter jump ring. And then I'm just going to do my jump ring up, wiggling backwards and forwards until it is closed. And you hear that click. And I always like to check my jump rings from the top too, just to make sure they're lining up properly. So there we go, that's what we just attached there. I'm going to do this in a weird way because I'm not going to attach the second row of jump rings yet. And the reason I did it this way, well, there's two reasons. Firstly, when I was making this necklace for the first time, I was only going to use the one row of jump rings. So I put all the charms on. But then I realized that it was actually easier to attach the second jump ring once all the charms were on, and you just go through everything. So that's what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is attach our charms. And so moving my 10 millimeters away, I've got my 8s here and I've got my charms. So if we have a look at our necklace, you can see here that the first charm here is attached to the first 10 millimeter jump ring. So that's what we're going to do first. So we're going to take an 8 millimeter jump ring and we're going to feed on our first charm. And then we're going to feed it onto our first jump ring, 10 millimeter one, and close it up. So there he is, he's on, he's hanging down, and we're happy with that. Now we're going to skip a jump ring and we're going to put the next charm onto the second jump ring there. But we need to make sure that it's going the right way. So to do that, what I like to do is hang my chain like this and go, okay, so this one is pointing up, this one's lying flat, this one is pointing up. If you twist it around, you see it'll be on the wrong side. So you need to hold it pointing up and then flick your chain around, grab your jump ring and your charm, and you can do this with two hands, I promise, and then pop it on there. And now you can grab your other pliers. You could have held it in your pliers, but I find it easier to hold it in my fingers, and close that up. These charms are quite thin, so make sure you get it well closed. So there's my second charm attached, and you can see that it's hanging on the right side of the jump ring, so it's hanging down. Next, we're going to just continue that on the jump rings that are facing up, every second jump ring. I do also suggest that you check it every single time you add one, just to make sure that you're on the right track. So I wanted to show you what happens when you attach it on the wrong side of the jump ring. So you can see here, this one is facing up and this one is facing, you know, the round side up. But this one here, when I face it up, the charm is on the top. So I have to take it off and put it on the bottom. And what happens when you hang it like that is, you can see there that it's hanging in the wrong direction. So we want to take that one off and pop it on the right side. That is why it's really, really important to hang it every single time and check it every single time. So now you can see it's hanging on the right side of the jump ring. We want it always on the lower side. So I'm going to carry on and do the rest. There we go, all of my charms are on. They're all on the bottoms of the jump rings. Phew. I wanted to add that extra chunky kind of edgy look to it, so I am going to add an extra row of my 10mm jump rings. And I'm going to show you there's a little trick to it as to how to get them on without twisting them. So I'm going to show you that now. With your non-dominant hand, you want to hang your jump ring that you're going to, your single jump ring. You want to hang it from your pliers like this. And then what you want to do is, with your other pair of pliers, take your 10mm jump ring, your open 10mm jump ring, and you want to hook all of that's hanging from your single jump ring through your jump ring. Hope that makes sense, and close it. Now, that's what that has done. You can see there that it's attached to your double 8mm jump rings, and it's attached to your next 10mm jump ring. So we're going to take the next single jump ring, hold it in our pliers, take our next 10mm jump ring, and we're going to feed on all of those hanging jump rings that are hanging off that single, and close it. Next, you want to take your next single jump ring, hang it, and take your open jump ring and feed it on through. And this is the best way to do it, so you don't get it all twisted up. And check it every single time. Take your next single, hold it in your pliers, hang everything, take your open jump ring, and just feed everything that's hanging off that jump ring through your new jump ring. So I'm going to carry on and do that with all of my single jump rings. I'm on my last one, and I did find it easier if I put my pliers through the loop like this rather than trying to hold it on the side, because I kept losing my grip when I held it on the side. So if you kind of hook your jump ring over your pliers, you'll find it easier. So last one, and then we're done. When you put this necklace on, put it over your head and then kind of hold it up like this, and just make sure all the charms are hanging the right way, because they will move around and they'll flip over and that kind of thing, but that's part of the charm of a charm necklace. So when you make your own necklace, I want you to measure your chain before you cut it, because you do not want to cut it too short. If you do cut it too short though, you can just add some more jump rings, that'll be fine. But I just want to make sure that you measure it first, because you might measure differently from here to here than I do. So take your chain, put it around your neck, and kind of judge where you would like this to be. And you could do this part first if you wanted to. You could kind of attach it to one end, leave the other end of your chain long, and you could make this part and then decide how long you want it. I just don't want you to be disappointed by having it too short, and it's a good idea when you are testing that to wear another necklace that you think you might wear with it, because then you can see how it will look with that necklace. I hope that makes sense. Are you going to be adopting the layering jewelry look this year? Let me know. I would love to know. Are you going to be wearing just 2 necklaces, or will you wear 3 or 4, maybe even 5? I'm not sure I could go to 5, but I could definitely do 4. If you enjoyed this one, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and the thumbs up. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thank you so much for watching today. Remember, if you want a tutorial for the earrings, let me know as well. I'll see you again soon.